Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to a brand new expansion review video today. Not just today, but around 30 minutes ago, Blizzard has announced the brand new upcoming expansions, Kobolds and Catacombs, which will be released somewhere next month. And today they have already announced 4 brand new cards. And the very first card that I'm about to show you, Marin the Fox, will be coming live starting next week from Monday, which is extraordinary, almost never seen before. A card that we get to play before the expansion comes out, which is, by the way, amazing. They should definitely do this way more often in the future. I think this really keeps the game fresh. Maybe they could do a weekly release of one card from the expansion. It doesn't really have to be one of the best cards, just like a random card, just to keep the game and meta and deck building, everything a little bit fresh. Let's get right into it. Marin the Fox, it is the promo card. People that bought the virtual ticket for Blizzcon are gonna receive this one in golden. And yeah, what is this bad boy all about? It is our 8 mana 6/6 legendary battle cry. Summon an 0/8 treasure chest for your opponent. If you break it, you get awesome loot. Let's look at the awesome loot. So this is the awesome loot that you can get if you successfully kill the chest. By the way, I'm not sure how it works with the chest. Obviously there are no informations about it just yet. For example, if I get the chest and I kill it, for example, I use a Crazed Alchemist on the chest on my side, if I receive the loot or if the opponent still receives the loot, because the legendary, the way how it works, it gives, you the treasure. So I'm not quite sure if, if it works with like Potion of Madness. If you silence it, the minion just comes back and you don't keep it. If it works with the treasure, if I kill the minion, then that you receive the treasure, or if I will receive the treasure, probably the opponent still receives the treasure, but you can probably just silence it or something like that. So let's get into the treasure. The first treasure that you can get is golden kobold, and another thing is it is random which one of these treasures you're receiving, so you can't discover anything like that. It is a 3 mana 6/6 taunt battlecry. Replace your hand with legendary minions. Usually replacing your hand with legendaries is not that good because the average legendary is not very good, and if you're playing a deck with good cards, then obviously replacing them for random legendaries is not that great. And it is very similar to the monkey that you get from the map from Elise. So it's like a super late game card that just gives you, replace your bad cards with legendaries. I think right now this would be unplayable just because the control decks have very powerful win conditions right now. Like for instance, Jaina in Control Mage or Razakus Anduin in the Razakus Priest, or Ultimate Infestation in Druid, which are all just better late game finishers. All the decays pretty much are just better. Tolin's Goblet, it is a 3 mana, draw a card, fill your hands with copy of it. A very heavy RNG aspect to it. For example, if you play this in Rogue and you play this, you can just draw a coin and get a full hand of coins, or you could draw an Arcane Giant which costs 0 mana and then have a full hand of Arcane Giants, which pretty much wins you the game. So what can I say? Heavy RNG might be the worst card in the universe, or can just win you the game. How big of a fan I am of effects like that. The next card is Wondrous Wand. It is a 3 mana, draw 3 cards, reduce their cost to 0. So again, heavy RNG impact. You can draw 3 Deathwings pretty much for 0 mana, or you can draw coins which cost 0 mana. So you can just win the game from this card, or just not be so great, but drawing 3 cards for 3 mana is okay, I guess. It's definitely a powerful card no matter what. If you reduce any cards, the mana cost of any card, it should be good. But for super late game, it shouldn't matter so much because the legendary that you play, you will do this like turn 8 and you will have destroyed the chest by like turn 10. so the mana cost of the cards you draw shouldn't matter that much. It's more like for a tempo thing, but yeah, it's extremely slow and it probably doesn't matter at all. And the next card is Zarok's Crown. Discover a legendary minion, summon 2 copies of it. Again, very RNG heavy, and it's more like a fun effect. So overall, my thoughts on it. And by the way, keep in mind that I'm rating cards from a competitive standpoint, since I'm a competitive player. This is not like a very powerful card for competitive meta, but it is a very, very fun card. And it's probably a cool card to release for just as a free card for everyone, because you can build a lot of like quote-unquote cool decks on the ladder, which all just died to Jade Druid. But you can, yeah, try to have fun with this. A lot of RNG, a lot of crazy stuff you can do with it. I don't see this card being competitively viable, which is good because it's way too slow and we have just way stronger late game finishers. And yeah, the treasure chest can just be silenced. I think a lot of people will try to make this work with Crazed Alchemist if they're going to play this, because on turn 10 you can combine the Marin Fox with Crazed Alchemist, so you play him, you get the chest and immediately kill the chest with the Crazed Alchemist. So I really see this as a viable turn 10 combo. The next card we have is Crushing Walls. It is a 7 mana hunter spell. Destroy your opponent's left and right most minions. So basically with this you can kill a Jade Behemoth for 7 mana. Quite exciting, yay. So I think this card will be unplayable. Just because you can compare this to existing cards that are just way more powerful. For instance, Meteor from the Mage. It pretty much kills any minion, which you can just choose. It doesn't have to be the furthest on the right, on the left, and it can kill like smaller minions right next to it. This one you can just play around this by playing your biggest minion in the middle, and it costs more mana. It's probably worse than a Finance Portal. It's definitely worse than cards like Ultimate Infestation, like way worse than that. So, and Hunter doesn't want to just kill like 2 random minions from your opponent, where opponent can like play around it. So a pretty bad card from a competitive standpoint. Feel free to dust this card is my suggestion, because it is an epic card. It will give you like 100 dust, so not too bad there. The next card is a Gather Your Party. It is a warrior spell for 6 mana. Recruit a minion, and recruiting a minion is pretty much the same thing you do already as Big Priest. With the Shadow Essence, you can just summon a minion from your deck on the battlefield. It is not a Discover effect, so it's a completely random effect, but you don't just get a 5/5 copy of it, you get the full body of a minion. So basically you can get technically an Ysera out for 6 mana, which is quite powerful. So big warrior incoming, question mark. We have to see, but the card definitely has potential, as we have seen in the past with cards like Barnes or Shadow Essence, where we just could make them work. So I'm looking forward to this card. And the final card is the Priest Weapon, the first legendary weapon introduced to the game, the Dragon Soul. So first of all, it is quite uncertain yet if you lose durability charges after you casted 3 spells and you successfully summoned a dragon. It could be like that, but there's a chance that you don't lose any durability. And yeah, the way to basically remove this weapon would be through cards like Harrison Jones or Ooze, or pretty much just, you know, yeah, Blood Corsairs and whatnot. So interesting card, very powerful card. Currently it would fit insanely well in the current Razakus Priest, because you play cards like Lyra and you just play a ton of spells after you play the Anduin. And yeah, it's just extremely powerful. If you get to, even as soon as you get 1 dragon on the board for 3 mana, it's already quite powerful, because it is like a passive effect that just stays there. Yes, you have to pay a card for it, but yeah, you just get a bunch of dragons, which is super, super powerful. As soon as you got a 2nd dragon out, you got the value back in spades from playing this card. So yeah, it really enforces like a priest deck with a bunch of cheap spells. And you would play this in current Razakus lists and just include even more cheap spells in the deck. Just, yeah, to get more value out of this deck. So very powerful if you can make it work. It might be meta defining, so people might just run Ooze and Harrison Jones again just for this card because it is too powerful. So quite interesting to see how this is gonna develop. Yeah, it looks like a powerful card. Very exciting to see a legendary weapon. So always interesting to see new card types. So you can only run one of those, so it will not be like too consistent because you have to hit the card. Yeah, and there's a counterplay to it. As long as there's a counterplay to existing new super powerful cards, I'm completely fine with it. There's no super crazy RNG aspect to the card. So again, this card being super powerful would be completely fine with me. There's counterplay to it, not too crazy RNG effect that just has an influence on the outcome on the game. So great card. I'm really excited for this, and yeah, looking forward to it. And that's it for the first expansion review. Hope you guys enjoyed it as always. And this is the first 4 cards, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next weeks because I expect, as always, Blizzard to reveal more and more new cards. So it's gonna be some exciting upcoming weeks, and we can look forward to the brand new expansion Kobolds and Catacombs next month. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time, and peace out.